Morning. Oh boy. This up a little bit. Good morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Yo, yo, yo. Flying guillotine. Salute, brother. That rucksack pissed you off ridiculously? Well, I enjoy my rucksack. Good morning. Bright and squirrely, y'all. Bright and squirrely. Kelvin Black, salute. What's good, Jay Wood? Good morning, everybody. Freedom marchers, freedom lovers, freedom family, freedom fighters. Snapzilla Gorilla's in the building. Hitting y'all off with this morning paper. Kind of early, but not really. I know it's early for you rucksackers. Yes, sir, for you West Coasters, I mean. Well, let me, it's around. It's, Sunday, October 26th, 2025. You know what I mean? About 7 o'clock in the morning, 7:20. Starting our day off right with a good little ruck, a good little morning ruck through the neighborhood on this nice trail, you know. Flying Guillotine says we should talk about the best states to live in for freedom people. We should. I can tell you right now, it's going to be the states where, you know, you can get some good amount of land that's not going to be too expensive, where you can, where it's not illegal to be off the grid. You know, that's a good start. Tanya D, good morning to you, Tanya D. Yes, the state of awareness, yes. That's a good place to start. Good morning, everyone. As you come in, please hit the like button, man. You know, got 14 people so far. Very, very good morning to you. Yes, we in here early. Starting our day off right with a good little ruck. Hit that like button, y'all. Double tap the screen. Simple. You know, we're gonna get into this Argentina thing, you know, as I bring you guys awareness as to why we are bailing out Argentina. I need y'all to hit the like button, man. Come on now, dog. Good morning to Black Spring with Autumn. Good morning to you, beautiful queen. Come on, y'all. Y'all want to know this. Y'all are gonna want to know exactly why we're bailing out Argentina. You know, it's gonna knock your socks off, but really it's not. It's not gonna be a surprise, y'all. But hit that like button so we can get cracking. It's all about the money, y'all, obviously, right? $40 million in total to bail out Argentina. The why is very important, you know, because it helps us understand what our government truly represents, who our government truly represents, and who our government truly works for, you know? And in this case, it has to do with a wily hedge fund manager, you know, by the name of Rob Citron, okay? That's what it really has to do with. Who we're really bailing out is Rob Citron. And, you know, he's a hedge fund manager who invested a lot of money in the country of Argentina. And when, you know, he put a lot of money into the Argentinian economy. Good morning. And when it failed, you know, he had to call in the big guns. You know, he had to call in a rescue plan. He had to call in good old Scott Bassett to provide rescue. And this is what we really have going on, y'all. And it's illegal. It's essentially illegal. It's as illegal as it is diabolical. You know, but this is what our government does. And this lets you know who our government truly works for. Yes, Rob Citron, y'all. Rob Citron is someone who is a hedge fund manager, put a lot of money into Argentina while Argentina began to privatize. Okay? They began to fully privatize a lot of, you know, the government services. You know, they privatized it, handed it over to private companies who did not have the people of Argentina's interest at heart. And so what ends up happening is they suck the economy dry and put it into a ton of debt. And, you know, Rob Citron invested in these companies that, you know, made way for these companies to suck Argentina dry from this. So what does he do? Right? He sank a lot of money into Argentina during the privatization of a lot of government services. And, you know, instead of bailing the people out, they're not going to bail the people of Argentina out. No. They're going to bail out the companies that ran Argentina's economy into the ground. Flying guillotine. You know, I'm sure we have a military base there, but, you know, that it wouldn't really matter, right? Because, you know, it's not about that. Because we don't really get a lot from Argentina, except for beef, right? So now, that's another thing, right? There's this Argentinian beef that they're going to be slinging right here in the United States, which they've already been doing, undercutting ranchers in the United States. So what's going on with that is these butchers, these processing plants, they're going to be taking beef from Argentina to help with the economy as well. So they're going to be undercutting a lot of ranchers, a lot of United States ranchers. Hit the like button. Man, I'm struggling a little more today with this ruck. I don't know why. Maybe because it's cold. It's a lot colder. You know what I'm saying? So this ruck is going to be a little bit more of a struggle, but you know, I'm going to get it cracking. Yes, it is treasonous and it's illegal as hell. But you know, that doesn't matter, right? Climatizing the air is heavier. Probably, yeah. Whatever it is, it's a bit more of a struggle than it was last week, but that's okay, right? We're gonna get through it. It happens. It happens. You know, I've had these days in California, you know, when it starts getting colder, you know, it's a little bit more of a struggle, but it is what it is. That's why I have good old hydration. And I'm wearing thermal pants. So, you know, it's all good. So basically, Argentina, the president and the government there started to privatize a lot of the services that the government provided, right? And you would think, oh man, that's a great thing. Well, that's essentially what you want, right? You want to slowly wean the people off of, you know, government rule and government security and all these things. The illusion of security, the illusion of peace, the illusion of all these things, all the illusions that the government brings, you want to remove that. But what you don't want is for these greedy corporations that have already been feeding off the people, these corporate welfare recipients, like Citron, right? He's a corporate welfare recipient, obviously, because he's getting a shit ton of welfare getting bailed out by our country. You don't want that. You don't want the corporations, the greedy corporations, to come in and take over essentially what the government was doing without first being beholden to the people. So these corporations that came into Argentina and took over and have been taken over, and they just fully took over now, well, they had no intentions on taking care of the people. Yes, Robert Citron, yes. Yes, Robert Citron put a lot of money into Argentina. Man, I have to take a longer rest today. It is what it is. So the president, you know, Robert Citron, he put a lot of money into the country of Argentina, not because he wanted to help the Argentinian economy, but no, he wanted to, you know, bring these corporations in. He wanted to. Good morning. Good morning. He wanted to benefit, right, off of the privatization of the country of Argentina. And so when these corporations suck the country dry, he asked for a bailout, right, to give the impression that he wanted to save Argentina, but that's not what it's about. No, he just wants more money. So what happened is basically, it wasn't so much that we bailed him out directly. We gave money. We guaranteed loans that Citron took out. Right, so that if Citron or the government, the country of Argentina, doesn't pay back the money that they owe, the debt, then we just guarantee we pay the money, right? And we don't get any of the money back, right? So that's basically, we just giving them free money. Scott Bassett, yes, and Robert Citron. That is where the other $20 million went to. Yes, Javier Milei and Scott Bassett and Robert Citron got their money. Yes, because exactly. So something like that, right? So let me continue walking. It's up here. So Robert Citron asked his buddy Scott Bassett to have Donald Trump bail him out, right? So it wasn't necessarily the government of Argentina that asked for this money. It's this Robert Citron character. See, this is what happens when the corporation, the government, they intermingle to really take control. This is what really controls, right? So this is a perfect example. What's going on in Argentina is what they really want to happen in the United States, because the United States is a corporation, and the private corporations, you know, the big private corporations, the ones that pull the strings, well, this is their ultimate goal. But see, we have certain things in place. We have the Constitution, right? Right, and the illusion, the Constitution, the people believe in it, and so the government has to pretend like they're operating by the Constitution, but we know they really don't. We know they can ignore it. We know they can do what they want when they want to. They just justify it, right? Kind of like Abraham Lincoln justified suspending habeas corpus, right? Just like they justified the Patriot Act, because the Patriot Act is extremely anti-constitutional. So they just justify it, right? They use the Hegelian dialectic to strip certain protections that the Constitution gives, but the Constitution is a paper tiger. That's what we have to understand. We can't rely on the Constitution. This is the whole point. So what happened? Well, Rob Citron, hedge fund billionaire. This guy is a billionaire, y'all. This guy is a billionaire. And how did he become a billionaire? Well, by committing Ponzi schemes like this, right? This is essentially a Ponzi scheme. They graped the entire country of Argentina, and now, by doing certain things, bringing corporations in, draining the resources, using the people, extracting the wealth from the people, these corporations suck it up. And then they ask the government to bail them out with the people who enriches them with their own money, with the people that enriches them money, right? So the taxpayer. They drain us to begin with. And when they drive us into a hole and collapse the economy, we have to save they butts. And this is the crazy part. This is how our government works, y'all. Argentina beef. Yeah, well, Argentina beef has already been here, y'all. We have already begun beef from Argentina in this country. Now it's just gonna be that much more Argentinian beef going to these butchers, these processors, that will undercut the American ranchers, right? And that's how it will work. Well, there's a solution to that, and I'm going to give you the solution. If you want to really help ranchers right here in America, there are ways you can do it. You can buy local. You can, local butchers that won't take that Argentinian beef. There are people out there that are willing to skirt this shit, but So it's Rob Citron, whose hedge fund, big on Argentina, reportedly asked his friend for a rescue package. Treasury Secretary Scott Bassett delivered. Now, Scott Bassett is a George Soros protege. And, Scott Bassett is Donald Trump's Treasury Secretary. But I thought George Soros and Donald Trump didn't like each other. So why is George Soros's protege in Donald Trump's cabinet? Well, because they don't really dislike each other. They work together. They put on a dog and pony show, kabuki theater, and then they convince you that there's division up there. Oh, they don't like each other at the top. No. See, they're not emotional about this shit. They don't care. They don't care about a like or a dislike. They don't have to like you. If we work in concert for the common goal, I don't care if you like me or not. I don't care. That's what they understand, right? These people that work together to rape us, yeah, they don't care about none of that. None of that. They don't care about like or dislike. It's not even a word to them. It's not even in their vocabulary, right? What word they care about? Beneficial or not beneficial? Does your agenda benefit mine? Adam McFarland says, oh yeah, time for anarchist identity crisis time. It's better than a statist who suffers from cognitive dissonance and cult of personality disorder time. Anarchy time is better than idiotic statist time. That's what it's better than. But see, this is what you want to do. You want to derail because you understand that your boy said, fuck you. Yeah. Yes, Adam. Yeah, your boy Trump. He said, screw you. Screw those farmers. Yeah, we're going to give Argentina $40 billion of our money. And Trump don't care about you glazing him and licking his taint from the back. He don't care about none of that. He don't care about none of that. Know how many countries stopped receiving USAID? Adam, you see, this is that, now you're attacking the straw man, but that's okay. I'm not gonna let you do it. How many countries stopped? Well, how many countries are now getting it now? Yeah, he may have stopped some countries from getting USAID, but he just increased the number of countries that are getting USAID, so they just got replaced. Yeah, we didn't stop giving a certain amount of countries. We just stopped giving it to certain countries and started to giving it to others. But you didn't get a check back, did you? When they saved all that money, right? When Doge allegedly saved all that money, you didn't get a fucking check. Yeah, Donald Trump said, well, we're thinking about giving the people a check. Nah, where that check at? Did you get one? I don't think so. So does it matter? If we stop giving other countries aid, where's the money? Where is it going? Anyway, bro, you're just wrong. Tell me how I'm wrong. You fucking idiot. So anyway, on September 24th, Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent announced a $20 billion package to rescue Argentinian economy. Okay? It was a dramatic move to bail out a country that has little economic impact on the United States. Little economic impact. So we don't benefit at all from the country of Argentina. Right? Argentinian President Javier Milei is scheduled to meet with Trump. But this is what happened, y'all. Major Argentina outlets are now reporting that Citron, as Bessent, whatever the hell his name is, for a United States rescue package. Ariel Maciel, political economy editor, says that Citron returned to his friend and former colleague to request a second bailout, this time from the very coffers Bessent manages, the USA Treasury. Yeah, straight from the Treasury, right? So Rob Citron went directly to Scott Bessent, the Treasury Department Secretary, and asked for $20 million. Listen, a hedge fund manager, they can just do that. Hey man, hey, why don't you just have the president send me $20 million, $20 billion from your coffers? No, it wasn't $20 billion of Scott Bessent's money. It wasn't $20 million of Donald Trump's money. No. $20 billion of the American people's money. That's what we're paying for. Salute to Backwoods. He says to pay for his bathroom, amongst other things, right? Adam McFarland says, ha ha ha, pissy meow. Yeah, you're proving yourself to be an idiot who has no real argument. So all you do is come in here and act like an elementary school kid. I don't need to want a check. I didn't vote for a check. Adam McFarland is an idiot. I didn't vote for a check. Did you vote for our government to send money to Argentina? Is that what you voted for? No, you voted for the guy that's giving our money out. Doesn't have to consult anybody. Doesn't have to ask you what you think about it. Looks like a police chase. Gotta keep your head on the swivel. Ooh-wee. Anyway. Salute to brother Stormy B, man, in the building. Salute to you, bro. See, guys like or Adam McFarland is a pure idiot. I didn't vote for a check. I didn't vote. That's not what I voted for. I didn't ask for no check. You didn't ask for our government to give our money away to other countries and not help the American people with that money. You didn't ask for that. You didn't ask for these corporations to drain us, to drain our economy. You didn't ask for that. You didn't vote for that either. You just voted for a guy who can do whatever he wants once you put him in power. That's what you voted for. You voted for a dictator and a ruler to commit tyranny against you. That makes you stupider. Yeah, you think that makes you smart. You think that you were getting away with something. Yeah. No. You're helping a billionaire hedge fund manager rob the bank. You voted. So now you're resting on your laurels and saying, it ain't my problem. I didn't vote for nothing. I just voted. I didn't ask for this. Oh, yeah. I didn't give I just gave my consent. Very, very sad, y'all. But this is what we're dealing with. When you live in a country of voters and status, this is what you deal with, right? This is what you deal with. They're robbing us blind every chance they get. And now they're not even hiding it. They're not hiding it. This shit is all out in the open. Citron is really the one who intervenes. He basically tells Bessent, hey, we need to help Argentina. No, we need to help me and act like we're helping Argentina. Damn, what the hell going on down there, pimpin'? Yeah. Now, and this is essentially what happened. Citron put a lot of money into Argentina, and Milei, the president, began to privatize government services, but he didn't do it the proper way. No, he allowed the private corporations to come in and essentially pillage the country of Argentina, right? And now they want more money just to run the country, right? Just to keep the country operating. That's what this is about, right? So that they can do it all over again. Yeah, I know it's 40 billion total. 40 billion total. I know how much it is. Am I ready for war? Well, this is why I do what I do. This is why I ruck with 80 pounds of weight while talking to you guys at the same time, right? Great cardio. But this is just one aspect. God damn, what the hell? What the hell's going on here? I think there's a manhunt in the neighborhood, y'all. Crazy. And this is a nice neighborhood. I don't understand what's going on. But shit can happen anywhere. See, that's why you gotta stay ready. You think, oh, what a nice neighborhood, it's quiet. Next thing you know, there's a foot chase. Well, this really ain't nothing. That ain't really shit. Marcos Manguel says, admire your strength. I appreciate that. I think there's some guy getting chased by the popo. Yeah, they're chasing this guy through the neighborhood. Now they done got 18,000 squad cars out. Who knows what's gonna happen? You start hearing shots pop off. It probably has to do with that. Just to give you guys a heads up. Anyway, so see, guys like Adam McFarland. See, our government is a problem, but the biggest problem that we have in this country is not the government. It's people like Adam McFarland. Yeah. The voters and the consenters. The voters who consent to be governed every time they go to an election. Every time they go to a poll. This is what they do. Right? They're the biggest problem. Because the government will not get away with what they're getting away with without that. But see, these people, they don't think the government is doing anything wrong. Even when they complain about the government doing shit wrong. It is what it is. Story B, man, right? If it's that many squad cars, it must be black. That's what I'm thinking. Shit. And they drove right by me. I'm surprised. You know, but I'm light-skinned, so I think I got a little bit of light-skinned privilege going on this morning. Mr. Right On says, you can't answer my question. What's your question, Mr. Right On? What's your question? I don't see a question from you. The Democrats stopped him from what? What are you talking about? They didn't stop shit. Where am I? I'm in the state of South Carolina. Are you guys familiar? Citron is, yeah. Now, this is the reality, y'all. And in another article, right, from Mother Jones, it talks about how Trump's Argentina bailout enriches one well-connected U.S. billionaire. Why are we enriching billionaires? Why are we enriching billionaires? We don't get anything from this. So, Besant's announcement to bail out Argentina had massive economic benefits for one American. Billionaire hedge fund manager Rob Citron, who has placed large bets on the future of Argentina economy. Citron, the co-founder of Discovery Capital Management, is also friend and former college colleague of Besant, a fact that has not been previously reported in U.S. media outlets. Citron, by his own account, helped make Besant very wealthy. Yeah. See? The big old club. Yes, hit that like button, please. Mr. Right On says, can others in the chat see my questions? I only see 2 comments from you previous to this. So just re-ask your question, bro. Just ask the question again. What would you do if your children were victims of October 7th massacre? I would set about getting revenge against the Hamas people, the individuals in Hamas that committed the atrocity. And then I would look at my own government for allowing it to happen. I would look at my own government and seek justice against the Israeli government for issuing a stand-down order and allowing the October 7th massacre to occur. Yeah. So that means everyone responsible, not just one party. So if my government was responsible for the October 7th massacre because they issued a stand-down order and allowed it to happen, well, guess what? They got to pay too. So that's what I would do. Yeah, absolutely. That's how that shit works. That's how true justice works. Everyone responsible, not just the side. Shit's active, son. But I'm gonna keep rucking. I'm gonna keep rucking and trucking. You know what I mean? All the way to the end, y'all. Okay. Marcos Manguel says, FM, what credentials do you have that make a prominent threat? Well, I'm a veteran. I'm resourceful. I'm an electrician by trade. So I have useful skills. Let's just say that. I was an expert marksman in the military. You know, I train hard, I box, I do Muay Thai. You know, I'm a weapons expert and I'm a skilled tradesman. What's fake news? Yes, Marcos, I was in the IBW. I'm no longer in the IBW. No, I got out the IBW because in the Southeast, the IBW is weak as hell. They don't have any market share at all down here. And I made more money. I make more money outside of the union, not working in the union. What about the numbers? Oh, okay, I got you. Mr. Rhino says 55,000 KIA of 60. That's a lie. Yo, Mr. Rhino, why you lying, bro? Why you in here spreading Israeli propaganda? I'm not even talking about Israel right now. I'm talking about Argentina. Man, what is you talking about? So, since Javier Milei, a right-wing populist, became president of Argentina in 2023, Citron has invested heavily in Argentina. So, install a puppet government and have a hedge fund billionaire start to grape the country. Okay, makes sense. Citron has bought Argentina debt. So this is what happened. Citron has bought Argentina debt and purchased equity in numerous Argentine companies that are closely tied to the performance of the overall economy. Due to Argentina's massive debt load and chaotic economic history, in 2023, Argentina's inflation rate was over 200%. 200% inflation. This is in 2023. So the inflation rate was 200% in Argentina. Citron purchased Argentine bonds with an interest rate at nearly 20%, y'all. 20%. Citron has declined to detail exactly how much of the 2.8 billion he invested. So he's investing in a fund, right? He's managing the fund he invested in. He's managing the fund he invested in. You may not like the truth. Generally, when the majority of the people go one way, it's the wrong way. Mr. Rhino, what the hell are you talking about? See, what you're doing is attempting to call out a fallacy known as majority rule fallacy, or I don't care about none of that. You're just wrong. You're not wrong because most of the people in the chat say you're wrong. You're wrong simply because the facts don't support what you're saying. Yeah, I don't care about no majority. I don't appeal to the majority. That's what it's called. That's the fallacy you are trying to call out. Well, that's not going to work here. Just because appealing to the majority can be a fallacy does not mean that is what's going on right now. No, there is no appeal to the majority in here. Give me a Romeo Lima Charlie if you guys can hear me. Can y'all give me a Romeo Lima Charlie? Yeah, thank you, Fadlik Waris. They started the war, now they cry. No, Israel started the war years before that. Okay, this October 7th thing was just a culmination. If you're referring to October 7th, Israel have been pulling bullshit since before that. And guess what? There are reports out there that Benjamin Nosferatu, since you want to go there, Benjamin Nosferatu ensures that Hamas is still alive and well. And Benjamin Nosferatu has propped up Hamas. And he needed the October 7th attack to occur so that he can stay in power, because guess what? He was about to be unseated as the minister, prime minister. Yeah. He was about to be removed and replaced as prime minister. So in order to stay in place, he needed an emergency that he can start a war over to remain in power. Yeah. So you need to talk to your boy, Benjamin Nosferatu, about that. I don't want to hear none of your nonsense about none of that. So are they slaughtering Christians? Who told you that? Who told you that? Where are you getting this information? So the Palestinians are over in Nigeria killing Christians. That's what you're telling me. Good morning. Yeah. Yeah, the Palestinians whose homes has been destroyed, the entire country has been destabilized. They got time and energy and money to go over in Nigeria and start slaughtering Christians. You sound like a damn fool. Goddamn Zionist propagandist. That's what you are. Anyway, no one believes you. Nothing supports your argument. And you're full of shit. So anyway, in early September, day before Bassett bailed out announcement, Citron purchased more bonds. Citron, who is also a majority owner of the Pittsburgh Steelers, is effectively betting on Malay's right-wing economic program, which emphasizes deregulation and sharply reduced government spending. Citron viewed the probability of default as minuscule, even though Argentina has defaulted on its debt many times in the past. Can you imagine if you just as a regular American kept going into debt, kept maxing out your credit cards, not paying them, you know, all that shit? Can you imagine being able to keep getting loans? Can you imagine your credit score is 3? You got a 300 credit score. None of your all your credit cards are maxed out. You haven't paid any of your bills in 18,000 years. And they still give you money. Can you imagine if that was you? Can you imagine being bailed out by the government? Right? Can you just ask the government for $2 million because your business failed? What would they tell you? Can you call Scott Bessent and ask him for $2 million to revive the business you failed? Your business failed because of your actions. Can you call Scott Bessent and ask them? Here we have a spammer. Okay, I'm gonna get rid of you myself. Yeah, goodbye. Arrivederci. Don't be coming up in here spamming, yo. Y'all need to hit the like button too. Damn it, that was an accident. Yeah. Don't be coming up in here spamming. The hell? Can you imagine? You start a business and it fails, and you ask Scott Bessent. Can you call him up? Who has Scott Bessent's number in this chat? Mr. Right On, I know you want my attention, but you're not gonna get it. So you can keep writing about Israel. I don't care what you're talking about right now. I don't care about chapters of nothing that you telling me to read. I don't care about none of that. I don't care about none of that you're talking about. Stop it. This shit ain't gonna work on me, pimping. Anyway, you can't call Scott Bessent. You can't ask him to bail out your business. You just can't do it. You don't even know who that is, exactly. How many people in the chat knew who Scott Bessent is before I brought him up today? Anybody? Did anybody know who Scott Bessent was before I brought him up today? No, you don't. Because they don't want you to know. Right? They don't want you to know. They don't want you to know who Scott Bessent is a protege of. Scott Bessent is a protege of George Soros. Shannon knew. Salute to you, Shannon. No one knew. The Department of Treasury, right? Well, they control the purse strings to a degree, right? They dish out the funds. They dish the money out. But really the Federal Reserve, you know, they determine they artificially determine the value of the dollar, right? They flood the market with U.S. currency and dilute it. Or they can restrict the printing of money and allow it to correct itself. See, the Treasury, I mean, the Federal Reserve can do that at the behest of Scott Bessent, the Secretary of Treasury. He can tell them, stop printing money, allow the market to correct itself, bada boom, bada bing, and it'll be now it'll a lot of problems will cascade from that, but it needs to happen because it's gonna happen anyway. The market is going to correct itself at some point. You can get it started now and allow us to ease into it, or you can allow a crash to happen and all this devastation will occur. So you can have the level of devastation from a crash, or you can have a level of devastation from easing into a correction. If you allow it to ease into a correction, well, the devastation will be eased, right? We will be eased into the devastation. Whereas a crash, well, you know what happens when shit crashes, right? So that's what's going on here. And that's what happened to Argentina, right? A lot of shit crashed in Argentina. See, Argentina, they don't have the military might the United States has to intimidate other countries. So we're essentially, Argentina is USA light, right? So if you want to see what happens to the United States if we allow these corporations to continue to suck us dry, just look at what's going on with Argentina right now. Yeah, 200% inflation. Can y'all remember what was going on during the Biden administration when we had 20%? Ooh-wee. 20%. That was bad enough. But 200? Man, oh man. That's 100 times more than the inflation that we saw. So this is how it happened. All right, so Citron deregulated and sharply reduced government spending. In short term, this appeared to be a savvy investment. After taking office, Milei fired tens of thousands of government workers, cut spending on welfare and research, and achieved fiscal balance for a time. But then he allowed the corporations to come in and grape the country. See, that's not how you do it. You don't reduce government. You don't reduce the public government, right? And allow a corporate government to come in and destroy the country. That is what we had wrong here. All right. Inflation was reduced to around 40%, which spurred economic growth and foreign investment. Argentina's economic rebound contributed to the Discovery Capital's 52% return in 2024. Then it all came crashing down. I'm giving you guys a timeline of what happened. So that was in 2024. All right. In 2024, Discovery Capital, which Rob Citron owns, had a 52% return on his investment in Argentina. Then it all came crashing down. The austerity measures slowed economic growth, and unemployment spiked to nearly 8%. Millions had a hard time making ends meet after Milei reduced or eliminated subsidies for transportation, medicine, and other necessities. He reduced those subsidies and increased subsidies for the corporations. So instead of subsidizing the people with the money that the people gave to the government, well, he began to subsidize the corporations. And this is what's going on in this country right now, but at a much more methodical and pace, right? It's not as bad, right? Because we do have certain things in place to prevent that, but Argentina does not. Argentina doesn't have those safeguards. We have the safeguards for it not to be as devastating all at once. All right. But this is what they're working towards. Now, Okay, so Malay's popularity slumped, leading to a speculation that his party could be routed in 2025 midterm elections, which would hamstring Malay's ability to implement his agenda. This created economic panic, with investors dumping the peso and liquidating other Argentine assets. Yeah, Malay has desperately attempted to keep inflation in check. Last week, Argentina's central bank spent more than $1 billion to shore up the peso. So he used his own people's money to shore up the money his people was using in the economy. How you can't do that, right? But Argentina was running out of foreign currency. Foreign currency. That spelled trouble for Citron. Then Besant and Trump administration came to the rescue, floating a $20 billion economic package that helps stabilize the Argentina peso and functioned as a political lifeline for Malay. In early September, before Besant's announcement, Citron purchased more Argentine bonds. Besant's personal and professional relationship with Citron has spanned decades. In May, 14 appearance of the Goldman Sachs Exchanges podcast, Citron revealed how he delivered a financial windfall for Besant. So he owed him. Yeah. Scott Besant owed Citron a favor. Okay? This is how these people operate. I made you a lot of money. Now you got to help me out. You got to help me. You got to bail me out from my messed up investment. So this is what he says. I think there are special times for every 5 or 10 years where there's a really spectacular trade and investment that we then will concentrate in a meaningful way. 2013, a dollar yen, where we made over $1 billion long dollar yen. And in fact, we discussed it quite a bit with George Soros. And I kind of convinced George Soros and Scott Besant at the time to go big in that. And Scott says, I'm responsible for 75% of his bonus at Soros. Kind of jokingly over time. So you see what's going on here? Do you see what's going on here? Do I have to spell it out? This is what we're dealing with. Citron has reportedly leveraged his relationship with Besant to gain access to Trump. According to CE Noticias Financieras, in November, Citron gave a case of 4 red wines to Javier Milei during his visit to Mar-a-Lago. Citron went to Mar-a-Lago and Palm Beach in his first meeting with Trump. You see what's going on here? Why weren't we invited? Why weren't we invited? Donald Trump didn't bail out shit, just so y'all know. We did. We bailed out Citron. We bailed out Argentina. So why aren't we at these meetings? Anybody ever go to these meetings? Oh, Scott Besant wants to be the new Fed chair. I'm sure he does. Yep, where are you? How do I get out of here? Shannon, what is you talking about? Salute to Latresta Montgomery. Salute to you, Queen. Yeah, did anybody get invited? Did anybody get invited to this Mar-a-Lago? Can we go to Mar-a-Lago? Can we call Scott Besant and ask him to bail us out? That's my question. No money is going to Argentina. Absolutely not. It's going to the corporations. It's going to the corporations that now run Argentina full-heartedly, right? This is the plan in the United States. It's not to, they don't want to reduce the government to help the people be free. No. They want to reduce government to make way for the corporations to run the country. See, this is not, Malaya is supposed to be some libertarian who wants to reduce government. No. He wants to change the face of government and turn it into, what's that? You know the movie Aliens? Just so y'all know, Are you guys familiar with the Aliens franchise? The Aliens New Universe? You know, the Sigourney Weaver aliens? You know, are you guys familiar with what happened in that movie? The Earth, the governments of the Earth ceased to exist, right? But it wasn't because the people rose up and freed themselves. No, no, no. It's because two major corporations rose up and took control, and they became the government of the entire world. I think it's Katani or Nakatani or some shit. No, it's not capitalism. That's not capitalism. That's corporate welfare. It's corporate welfare. That's not capitalism. So y'all confuse capitalism with corporate welfare. Corporatism is not the same as capitalism. It's not the same shit. Can corporations participate in a capitalistic society? Absolutely. But when they use the government, right? When they use the government to scam the people, when they use the government to, you know, drain drain their resources and their time and labor and energies at the benefit of the corporations and to the detriment of the people, that's not capitalism at all. So y'all confuse capitalism with corporate welfare, corporatism. It's not the same shit. Oligarchy. An oligarchy is not capitalism. That's not what that is. These are oligarchs that are running the country. They just had to do it through the veil of a constitutional government. Yeah. Oh yeah, no, they've been chasing somebody throughout all over the place. Really? They didn't tell me that. I feel bad now. Oh yeah. Thank you. You too. Are you? I said oligarch. What are you talking about? What did I say? Oogie boogie? What did you hear me say? We haven't been capitalist since the Fed was created. Well, we were never capitalists. This is not a capitalist country. No government, no country with a government is capitalist. Where are y'all getting this from? Where y'all, how do you think that the government rule allowed for capitalism? True free market capitalism? It does not. Argentina is being propped to become a superpower in order to put their foot in Brazil and becoming controller of, well, they're not gonna be a superpower. They just we're gonna run that through Argentina. Argentina is not gonna be a superpower. We're just gonna be controlling Argentina. Our hands are gonna be at the wheel. It's not, there is no, Argentina ain't gonna be nobody superpower anytime soon. They don't have the military might for that. I'm sorry. Did I say oligarch wrong? Did I not say oligarch? Oh, so Rohi Boohi Bahi Boohi says, no, you said oligarch. I don't give a fuck how I said it. You know what I'm talking about. Now you want to be pedantic. You people get on my nerves with that shit. Yeah, it's no free market capitalism here. It's all manipulated. It's manipulated by the corporations. It's manipulated by the government on behalf of the corporations. You can't, like, what are you talking about? There is no capitalism. This is not capitalism. No country operates under a capitalistic system, period. The governments do, right? The corporations, they're not even capitalists because it's not free market, right? They manipulate, they manipulate the market. They shore themselves up using the people's money. It's all manipulation and criminal. That's not free market. That's not capitalism. Y'all are confused. Salute to Shannon Hubert. I appreciate you. Much love to you as well. Pronounce your words right. Don't blame me. Your mama didn't teach you to speak clearly. Well, I'm going to tell you what your mama did for me. Yeah, she gave me that guac guac very clearly. Did you understand that? Did I articulate that well enough for you? Yeah, your mama clearly gave me that guac guac 3000. Can you understand that? You see, I'm rucking with 80 pounds of weight going up a hill. And you want me to pronounce words the way you want me to pronounce them. Fuck you. Oligarch, bitch. Yeah, your mama gave me that guac guac very clearly. When I blew her back out, she screamed my name very clearly. That's all that matters to me. Yeah. That guac guac. The slobber. No, I'm going to entertain the foolishness because you know what? When they go low, I go lower. I'm not Michelle Obama. Always poor baby can't talk right. Now he mad. Kathy Brogdon says he is so rude. Who is so rude? Hey, I only match energy. Private ownership, profit motive, free markets, consumer choice. Yeah, that's capitalism, but that's not how we operate in this country. It's not free market when the government extorts you every chance they get, and they create regulation to keep you down that the corporations aren't beholden to. Right? When they create laws to keep, the small businesses down and not let you thrive, and then something like, let's say the COVID-19 pandemic comes around and shuts down hundreds of thousands of businesses. Shut down hundreds of thousands of businesses that can't afford to shut down for 14 days. But then you make the big corporations essential. That's not capitalism. What's a better system for a country? I don't give a fuck about the system for a country. That's where you start missing me here. This is where you start losing me. For a country? No, I think about what's best for the individual first. And then you go from there. What's best for the individual is to live as freely as they can and mind your own goddamn business. I'll mind my business, you mind your business, unless we want each other's business to be minded by each other. Mutually beneficial transactions, mutually beneficial encounters and conversations. Yeah, what's best for the country, I could give a shit about that. It's about what's best for the individual and group of individuals that decide to come together and operate in small communities and mind their own goddamn business. That's what's best for the people. What's best for the people is to have government not in their life. Yeah. Extract government control and government rule from their lives. That is what's best for the country. Yeah. Yeah, you start there. You have to, first you gotta bring all the troops back. Bring the troops back from all over the world, right? Bring them back to this nation. Have them truly secure our borders. Because when we start decentralizing the government, foreign nations are going to try to come in and take advantage of that. So we're going to have to leave our military intact to protect us while we go through decentralization. Then you go back down, you break it down to state powers, and then you break it down even further from there. Right? That's what's best. That's what's best. What's best for the individual comes first. And then if a group of individuals want to come together and operate and exist under one system, they can do that voluntarily, completely voluntarily. And then you go from there. You know what I'm saying? That's how you do that. Salute to you, Kathy. Yes, that is the best. That's what's best for everybody. Now, of course, you're gonna have people to try to take advantage of that, right? There's always gonna be power-hungry people that are gonna try to rise up and become dictators and rulers. Well, you just have to nip that in the bud as soon as you see it, right? You have to recognize it for what it is. You gotta look at the signs, the red flags, and then you deal with them. Now, you can deal with it peacefully, you know, by letting them know, hey, you're doing too much. We chose you as a leader to lead, not to dictate, not to be a tyrant, not to control. Yeah, you got to stop. Robin Baroga says, bet he didn't know his daddy. Who you talking about? Well, I tell you what. Rohin, I'll tell you what, Rohin, your mama know who daddy is. Your mama know who daddy is. Yeah. Every time I pipe her down, she lets me know. Every time I give her these long strokes, your mama tells me who daddy is. Yeah. So that's what you need to concern yourself with. Who your mama think daddy is. Don't worry about my daddy. Anyway, salute to Fresh Mulata. Salute to the beautiful queen. No, you didn't hit a nerve. Not in the least bit. No, I've been shitting on you since you started talking. So I've been keeping that same energy the whole time. It doesn't matter what you say. Yeah, I'm gonna keep giving you and your mama the business. Well, I'm gonna give your mama the business. And when she bakes you cookies, she's gonna put my special ingredients in there so you can swallow my babies. That's what's gonna happen. Am I a lone wolf? Yeah, sorta. You know, I'm not really good with groups of people, but I had to learn that I had to change that mindset because, you know, it's not, you know, it's not good to necessarily be that way in a time like this, you know. But, you know, I'm naturally a lone wolf, yes. But yeah, dog, Rohin, I've been giving you that same energy. Yeah. Don't worry about it. And if you did hit a nerve, I got millions of nerves. I got millions of nerves. Listen, I grew up in the 80s, Pippin. I grew up in the 80s. We ain't sensitive like that. You probably were born in 2012. You know? The sissified bitch era. See, I grew up in, I was born in 1980. Yeah, we ain't like y'all. Just like you had millions of potential daddies. Is your mama in here? Hey, is your mama in here? She in the chat? Your mama in the chat somewhere? Damn, dog. Hey, yo. Hey, Rohin. Hey, if you're the mother of Rohin Baroga, let me know, because I think he's talking to you. I think he's talking to you. Yeah. And he might be talking to himself. But Rohit, if you were born in 2013, let's see, where was I at? You were probably born in 2012, 2013. I was 32 years old. Damn. No. That's a little. You were probably born in 2012. Yeah, I was knocking down. No, I was married. No, couldn't be me. Yeah. I stopped running amok before I hit 30 years old. Yeah, I stopped running. Yeah, you know. So I didn't meet your mama until last month. That's when I met your mama and started blowing her back out. So I can't be your daddy. This dude, you're corny as fuck, bro. You corny. I'm just letting you know that right now. Anyway, I appreciate you, Angel Label. Salute you. Brittany says, hey, Brittany, you know, hey, I can, hey, like I said, yo, this corny motherfucker, corny as hell. Oh, so they found you in a dumpster? Hey, corny as hell. Just corny. Just corny as fuck, bro. It's okay. Anyway. He wants my attention. I gave him a little bit of attention. But I'm not your daddy, bro. Go talk to your mama and ask her what was going on in 2012. Oh, thank you, Fresh Mulata. I appreciate you. Thank you, Queen. See, that's probably what Rohan is mad about as well. You know, he's wondering why he's so ugly when his mama's a baddie. I gotta tell you, your mama's bad. Your daddy must have been an ugly motherfucker. Anyway, so basically, y'all, we are bailing out Citron. Essentially, we're not bailing out Argentina. No. Argentina will not get this money. No. The corporations, right? The corporations that, you know, President Milei deregulated and cut government spending for, yeah, they're going to get the money. And Argentina is going to flounder. The people of Argentina are not going to benefit from this bailout. They're not. You average at best, partner. Look at the average black dude in Walmart that bought a grooming starter kit. Wow. Here comes another one. Yo, man. Hey, just because I look better than you at 45 than you do at 20, you ain't got to be mad about it, bro. Just ask how I look so good. Listen, if y'all want to know how I look so good, why I'm so goddamn gorgeous at 45, you just got to ask. You know, this is part of it. Fitness. You know what I'm saying? Hey, if you want to be a silver fox at my age, all you got to do is ask. Yeah, I responded. So what? I talk to the people. I talk to everybody. Yes. Ask the people in the chat that has been here a while. I talk to everybody. Yeah, this is a conversation. Yeah, sure, I got baited. Yeah, thank you for letting me know that you didn't mean what you said. You just wanted my attention. That's okay. I know you're a troll. Y'all think I don't know y'all are trolling? Y'all think I don't know y'all trolling? Listen, salute to you, Shannon. I appreciate you. Thank you. Yeah, I appreciate that. See, they don't like that. See, they know. Thank you, Cassie. I appreciate you. Cassie D1111. Thank you. See, that's what they mad about. They know the ladies will come in here and give me compliments. And I'm just trying to talk about the Argentinian bailout being about bailing out the corporations. Oh yeah, she's a bot, sure. Dude, the hating at his finest, bro. Listen, Latressa. Argentina has been sending beef over here. Argentina had beef over here. Thank you, heirs to the. I appreciate you. See, I like to troll the trolls. I like to go lower than the trolls. You know what I mean? I'll go low. I ain't got to be the bigger person. I ain't never been the bigger person. I always been an asshole. Yeah, believe that. Believe that to a tree that. How you see me right now, this is how I am in real life. I'm like this in real life. Way to meet the stereotype. What, that black men are sexy as fuck? You're welcome. Thank you. Black men always get offended. Oh boy. Yeah, the corporations, they're going to get bailed out. Look, listen, y'all. I want y'all to think about this. We got farmers in this country that are suffering, right? The soybean farmers, you know, listen. Morning. Now, I don't know why we are growing soybean in this country. The problem started with all the monocropping, right? All the monocropping, all that bullshit. But let's just use the soybean farmers. See, our government can bail out the soybean farmers, right? Because they're struggling, not just soybean farmers. The government can uplift and prop up local farmers and local ranchers. But they're going to do that for Argentina instead. Because Scott Bessent, the Secretary of Treasury, his buddy, Rob Citron, put all this money into Argentina that he knew would not work out. It's all part of a game. They all worked in concert to completely destroy the economy of Argentina so that they could profit from it. You're welcome, heirs to the. Fresh Mulata says, that's what I like. I seen it, you down to earth, talk to everybody. Yeah. I talk to everybody. So listen, if you're a troll and I'm talking to you and you think you're doing something special because I'm talking back, because I'm talking to you, yo, I try to engage with everybody. Right now, the chat's kind of calm. Thank you, Fresh Mulata, I appreciate you. The chat's kind of calm, you know, not a whole bunch of people in here right now. And the chat's not moving that fast, so I can engage that much more. But yeah, the farm issue comes from supply prison food. Well, they do that as well. They supply prison food as well. They give them the shit. Shannon Hubert, yeah, the trolls ain't never gonna stop because I basically have open borders in my chat. Where are you fishing last night? What the hell? Where are you on fiction? I don't know what that is. No, I don't be on TikTok. No, that wasn't me. But people, this is what's going on. If you guys, are you guys familiar with the fact that the Secretary of Treasury, Scott Bessent, is a protege of George Soros? What is going on here? Cassie says, they can't hold a stick to your knowledge or physical appearance. Jelly is an ugly attribute. Thank God you don't have that. Oh, yeah, no, I never did. Keep looking amazing and being the light that you are. I appreciate you, Cassie. I appreciate you. Salute to you. You as well. You as well. He was talking about, he was preaching about freedom. That's what's up. That's my kind of guy. That's my kind of guy. If he preaching about freedom, then we're probably kindred spirits. You know what I mean? If he reminds you of me, that means we're probably kindred spirits, and he means what he says when he preaches freedom. Bessent bowed to Dumpy. Well, these people all bow to each other. Right? Listen. What is it? I think the Rothschild said this. I care not. Damn it. Whatever. What does it say? Give us control of a nation's money, and I care not who makes its laws. Give me control of a nation's money, and I care not who makes its laws. Because the people that make the laws work for us, is essentially what he's saying. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter who you elect. They're going to be beholden to the Federal Reserve. And the Federal Reserve, well, guess what? The central bank, the central banking system, that's who really runs shit. They don't care about who the president is and who gets elected for this, that, and the third. They don't give a hot damn. Hell, they might even let you have a little bit of control down there in the local governments. But at the end of the day, the supremacy clause dictates they really run the shit. You know what I mean? At any point in time, they can take over. They can flood your streets with jackbooted thugs, jackbooted military men, like they're doing in Chicago and Portland and all these other areas. They don't care about who makes the laws and who you vote for. Fresh Mulata says, thanks to all the ladies speaking positively to him because our light-skinned men get verbally abused all the time. And worst, I'm vocal about that on my channel. Keep going, King. Oh, you got a channel? You know what, Fresh Mulata? Let me go on here and mod you up. Let me go on here and mod you up. You've been supporting. Yeah, I didn't know you had a channel. You can go ahead and drop your link, Queen. Morning. Yeah, you can go ahead and drop your link, Miss Lady. Yeah, nah, I mean, here comes another hater. Ooh, he said, nah, mean. What is that in the English language? Ooh, what does nah mean? Oh, boy. So, Scott Bessent. I have a little info on him, too. Y'all want to hear it? I know this is not as usual. This is not the usually exciting content, right? We're talking about bailing out the earth. Why is that important? Why is it important where our money is going? Who cares about $40 billion, right? Well, we should care. And we should care about who is determining where this money goes. Marcos Manguel says he's light-skinned and never hated. Yeah. And you know, you never be hated. Well, I don't know. I get hated on quite often. It is what it is, though. See, I may be light-skinned, but I got dark-skinned tendencies. You know what I mean? Because when you think of light-skinned, you think of, like, sensitive and I don't want to get into all that, but I am indeed light-skinned. Welcome to fiscal conservatism. Where do you see fiscal conservatism? Where do you see that? How come I'm chasing clout all day? Whose clout am I chasing? Argentina has clout? Bruv Orca asked me, Brother Orc, on a Sunday, asked me if I have a job or not. That's what this brother comes in here and asks me. My job is to bust your mama down, to bust your wife down, and to bust any adult sister you have down. That's my job. And it pays handsomely. Okay? That's how we're doing that. Fresh Mulata, go ahead and drop your link, Queen. Drop your link so I can go ahead and check you out. You prove to be lazy. I prove to be lazy while I ruck with around 80 pounds. I'm rucking with nearly 80 pounds, but I'm lazy. Worrying how money is spent. Been saying that for decades. Well, I've been saying, what are you talking about? Oh, you think I'm new to this? Mike G's? I've been talking about this type of shit since 2004, 2005. Dog. It's always the dudes that come in here talking that shit. It's always, man. See, y'all acting light-skinned. Y'all dudes really acting light-skinned up in here. Real shit. Ooh-wee. See, I'm talking about how our government is sending $20 billion, $40 billion to Argentina to prop up their failing economy, when really, we're just enriching a hedge fund manager, and we can't get money in our own country to bail out the veterans on the streets, to bail out the farmers losing money, to help the economy of these, a lot of neighborhoods around the U.S. that could use that money, right, to help the economy of what you want to call ghettos and all that. We could be doing that in our own country, right? Y'all don't have a problem with us giving other countries billions of dollars to help them. But then you want to call it a handout when we ask why our government isn't doing the same for us. You sound like a bunch of fucking idiots. But here you come in my chat, launching ad hominems and attacking me personally because I look better than you. Because I look better than you and I'm more fit. And you want to take it out on me. These are genetics, buddy. Mac of the South, salute to you, bro. Mikey's only talk shit when people talk shit to me. Yeah, when people go low, I go lower. Salute to you. Salute to you, Brett Sands. Fresh Mulatto says, yes, they be playing with our light-skinned mulatto men because lighter skin is associated with feminine, and our men be one of the bravest. The first forefather of the civil rights movement was black. Yeah, well, Huey P. Newton, right? Yeah, there's quite a few. Hey, don't be sleeping on light-skinned brothers. You know, we be putting in work. Brett says, I don't want to give a shit. Put Americans first. Vets before threats. I agree. As a veteran myself, I myself am a veteran, and I agree wholeheartedly. But they're not going to do that, right? They're so concerned, too, with waging this war on the cartels in the Caribbean, while the Mexican cartels, right there south of the border, are engaging in child sex trafficking. Yeah. What about the war against child sex trafficking cartels? Mr. Right on is back. He says, can't go lower than being a stolen valor. Oh, I'm stolen valor now. Oh, I'm stolen valor, y'all. I'm stolen valor. Stolen valor. That's me. Sure, buddy. Okay, I'm glad you were worried about foreign funding. This is the fiscal conservative have been saying since 1913. Yeah, of course I'm concerned about that. This is what this live is about. This live is about how we are once again, the people of this country are getting robbed. We're getting robbed and our money is being sent to another country so that some guy who's a billionaire, can clean up, right? It's highway robbery, y'all, in broad daylight. And we're in my chat talking about my pronunciation of words and stupid shit about black stereotypes. This is why we stuck on stupid, y'all. See, this is why I allow free speech in my chat. Because I want my chat to represent what's going on in the real world. Because my chat is a small representation of the real world, of the country. Oh, here comes Adam McFarlane again. Who let that get rampant and out of control? What are you talking about? Who let what get rampant and out of control? The inflation? What are you talking about? The government spending? Well, we did because we allowed the government to do so. We're responsible because we can continue to vote. We continue to consent. Yeah, it's our responsibility. We continue to allow them to extract us of our wealth and do what they want with impunity. We allow them to do this with impunity, and we just sit back and we come into people's chat who's trying to bring light to this and talk silly shit. It's our responsibility. It's us. That's what it is. Adam says, can someone say Biden open border? What did you do when Biden opened the border? Yeah, we let that happen. We're responsible for letting Biden open the border. So you're playing the left-right paradigm game. No. That was all part of the design. It was part of the design. They gave Trump a break so that Biden could open the borders and convince people that the two wings of the same bird don't belong to the same bird. That's what they did that for. They couldn't let that happen under Trump, so they let Biden step in, open the borders, so that Trump can use that to commit more atrocities. Yes. So Trump is president. Remember the other day, some of you were here. I told you guys how, and I let you hear how Donald Trump said he would kill anybody who brought drugs into the country. He said people who bring drugs into the country. He didn't say just the cartels. So my question is, just think about this. How many drugs were brought into the country during the Biden administration? How many drugs were brought into the country during the Trump administration? And before that, who brought the drugs in? Who brought the heroin in and the cocaine into this country? Who were all instrumental in that? Who allowed the opioid raw materials to come into the country? Well, it's not just the cartels, right? So if Joe Biden opened the borders, Joe Biden and his whole administration, well, are they going to kill them? Is the Trump Department of War going to start killing the Biden administration? That's my question. No, they're not. At all. This is a bunch of bullshit. They sold y'all a lie, and y'all bought a hook, line, and sinker. 1814 Revolt says, are you road marching for fun and my health? Yes. For fun and my health. And to stay ready. Absolutely. So, they're not going to go after the Biden administration. They're going to go after tiny boats in the Caribbean and blow them up without giving us any proof that there were drugs on them. That's what they're going to do. So no. It's not going to happen. Fresh Mulata says, you're very intelligent. I can tell just viewing your content. It is in our DNA. We are heroic people. You speak fine, honey. I appreciate you, Fresh Mulata. Thank you so much. Abiola Raha drops a $2 or €2 super chat. Salute to you, brother. I appreciate that. He said it's global corporate machine money. Lil Baboon. You calling me a baboon? When I basically was explaining what you just said. First of all, what's global corporate money? Global corporate machine. So you call me a little baboon. Man. Y'all are funny as hell. Darren Sparkley says, this karma. Military and CIA aren't required to present proof to the citizens. Here comes another idiot. You know, I'm gonna just call you idiot, because that's what you are. You're an idiot. Where does the military and the CIA get its funding from? Who pays the military and the CIA? The citizens, you fucktard. God, you're fucking stupid. Oh, well, they don't have to tell us nothing. You're a fucking idiot. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. They have to explain why they're killing people. They have to explain why they are judge, jury, and executioner. No due process for these people in the Caribbean. They can just kill them. Yeah, they do. They can easily just capture the boats and seize the drugs and arrest the people that are doing this. That's what they should be doing. There was no war, declaration of war. So there's that as well. So there's no justification. So what you're basically saying is that the CIA and military don't have to answer to its employers. Yeah. We employ the military and the CIA, you fucking idiot. Now this shit pisses me off. Where's your proof for droning weddings and funerals? Who said anything about droning weddings and funerals? Man, you're a fucking idiot. Now, you guys launching personal attacks and insults at me, that doesn't piss me off. But when you say stupid shit like the CIA and the military aren't responsible for proving that the people they're killing are committing crimes, that's what pisses me off. Because that's why we stay stuck on stupid. Right? That's why we stuck on stupid. That's why the tyrants can commit tyranny against us, because of idiots like Mike G's. It's really stupid. That pisses me off. Like, that really gets to me. It really gets to me, because this is how most of the people in this country, this is what they believe. YouTuber Glasgow says, walk in the streets of Glasgow, Scotland. Oh, salute to you, man. That's what's up. That's what's up. Do you think that Hamas executing people in the streets and refusing to disarm is not a violation? Who are they killing? Why should they disarm when Israel isn't holding up their end in the first fucking place? They're not obeying the ceasefire. They're not allowing the 6,000 trucks with the aid on it to come into the country. Why should they hold up their end? And why can't they execute people that betrayed them against Israel? That's not Israel's business, how they carry out their justice. If Hamas is carrying out justice for the people that betrayed them against Israel, that's not Israel's business. Yeah, my G's, I can be pissed. But guess what? I can expose you as the idiot you are at the same time. Because you sound stupid as fuck. Yeah. So I'm not just pissed just to be pissed. No, I'm gonna be pissed. And I'm gonna articulate why I'm pissed and why you look like a fucking idiot. So yeah, I can be pissed. Propaganda. Sure, Will. Sure, Chris Lone Wolf. Sure, it's propaganda. Why not? Israel spends billions of dollars on propaganda. So, what's good for the goose, right? If Israel can ramp up its propaganda war, well, they can't be mad when propaganda comes out about them. So if what I'm saying is propaganda, well, it's all part of war, right? It's part of the war. See, look, Israel has increased spending on propaganda, on the propaganda war in the United States. Yeah, he's waging a information war against the people of the United States. But you come to me and bitch about propaganda. Yeah. So Hamas can do whatever they want. And you expect Israel to stick to the agreement. Israel never stuck to the agreement in the first place. You fucktard. Israel never stuck to the agreement. They had no intentions on sticking to the agreement. Benjamin Netanyahu needs the conflict to continue. So there was never any intention to stick to any agreement. So what are you talking about? Israel never started. Mike G says, call me more names. The military isn't required to prove their actions to citizens. No, Mike G's, that's not true at all. That's not true at all. I don't know where you got that from. That's what makes you a fucking idiot. Yeah. See, BB might go to jail when the conflict is over. So that's why he needs the conflict to continue so they can get their way, which is ultimately for him to reign supreme. The goal is for him to reign supreme over Israel and their empire. That's what his goal is. So he has to continue things until he can get shit in place. Anyway, bottom line is this. Scott Bessent is the protege of George Soros. And we know what he did, right? Didn't he fund BLM and Antifa? Right? He funded BLM and Antifa, who Donald Trump ensured became known as domestic terrorists, right? Well, why didn't he place George Soros under arrest? Why did he employ George Soros's protege to run the Treasury, who ended up making sure that his other buddy, Rob Citron, got bailout money for Argentina? Because they're in the big club and you ain't in it. You ain't in the big club. Yes. Their funding from Israel reportedly went to Hamas. And then you got the stand down order that no one wants to talk about. I see when I mention the stand down order, no Israeli taint liquor is coming in here disputing that. Just like for 9/11, if they allowed 9/11 to happen so that they can reach an agenda, or if they were instrumental in 9/11 happening, well, it makes our government, it makes them complicit, and therefore our country, our government, are the real terrorists. Don't talk about that, right? So it's the same with Israel. Lord Crimson says, Lord, remember when Nosferatu said for 30 years Iran was 2 weeks away? Yes, He's been doing that for 30 years and it never happened. And if it was going to happen, well, why didn't Iran launch a nuclear attack against Israel when Israel snuck into Iran and launched missiles from within Iran to strike within Iran? Why didn't Iran just launch nuclear weapons against Israel right then and there? It's not about that. It's about removing Iran as a power in the Middle East so that they can spread their empire. They're in the way. And guess what? Saudi Arabia is in the way. Egypt is in the way of Israel going in to liberate Africa. It's all part of a big plan. It's called the Greater Israel Agenda, if you guys aren't familiar. And then you have the great, shit, I forgot what it's called. I talked about it last week. All this data is out here, y'all. I'm not making none of this shit up. The great, it's right here. The Great Trust. You familiar with the Great Trust? Yeah. Jared Kushner and some other Zionist talked about something like this before October 7th. Yeah, they want to rebuild Gaza. They want to rebuild it, and they want it to be U.S. led. They want the U.S. to revitalize Gaza. They want to beautify and Gaza. The Great Trust. Look that up. The Great Trust. Yeah. They want to gentrify Gaza. Yeah. They want to turn it into some huge resort town that the billionaires can benefit from. Yeah, that's what they want to do. Covert ops all over the world. Citizens totally aware. Is this one of those things that we're not aware of? It's blowing up tiny boats in the Caribbean and announcing it and showing video. Is that a covert op? No, it's not a covert op. Dumbass. Dumbass. Yeah, I'm talking to you, dumbass. And as far as those secret missions go, well, that's a problem. So you just pointing out more problems that we're having. Why are we doing these things? Some of it might be for national security. Sure. But guess what? Guess what? There needs to be oversight regardless. There should be civilian oversight over government activities. Point blank and period. Yeah. Hey, someone called it propaganda, Lord Crimson. That's the only answer they have. They don't have an argument, so they just call it propaganda. Is it possible the 9/11 could have been prevented after hell, the USS Cole being hit could have been prevented. A lot of things can be prevented, y'all. See, Mike Jesus talking about this beautiful, also special covert ops. Well, see, events like 9/11 and the USS Cole, well, that gives you further credence to the idea that there should be more oversight. Yeah, because if they knew it was going to happen and they didn't prevent it, that means that our intelligence agencies and the covert operators didn't do their job properly. And they're not being accounted for. They're not being held responsible. So that's the problem. A lot of shit could be prevented that wasn't on purpose. Yeah. Darren Sparkley says go back to Europe. This is the land of the red man. Yeah, that's true. I have ancestors who are indigenous. I have indigenous ancestors, African ancestors. You know what I'm saying? And a little bit of European ancestry going on. But that's most of us, most black folks in the United States that go back, that can trace their lineage back to before slavery in this country. Yeah, that's what happened. I know we're not African, but everybody's African, essentially. Like, the cradle of civilization, the first humans came out of Africa and migrated all over the world. So technically, everybody is. But I see what you're saying. We have indigenous ancestry right here in this country that were here before the Europeans showed up. So I see what you're saying. Yes. The average, so if you are an FBA, a foundational black American, as they say, and the average FBA, right, has about 25% a European in them. The average, not everybody, average, that's average. That's just what it was. Yeah. But yeah, y'all. So just to give you guys a little background into why we are bailing out Argentina, it's not because, like, Trump said, they asked Trump why they're giving, a reporter asked Trump, well, why are we giving money to Argentina when we have farmers, soybean farmers, right here in this country that are, they're losing money. They're becoming destitute. And Trump says, they're dying. They're dying. They're dying over there. Oh, what he basically said is, fuck the American farmers. That's what he said. He said, fuck American farmers. America 10th. That's what Trump basically said. Yeah. Mr. No new war. No new wars. No new wars. No new wars. What a fucking asshat. Mr. America first. Yeah, okay. Marco says, are you familiar with Nick Irving? And what is your take on him? Nick Irving. Let me Google him real quick. Sounds familiar. I might have to research him since you brought him up. Okay. Nick Irving. He's an American author, yes. Okay. Oh, the sniper dude. Yeah, I'm familiar with him. Yeah, I'm familiar. What about him? Lord Crimson says, you got it wrong. It was new wars. Yeah, facts. Bring the buffalo back, absolutely. Well, the buffalo didn't leave. They just greatly reduced their population to starve the indigenous people. This is how they do it, y'all. Listen, if you don't give in, if you don't submit to these European imperialists, this is how they operate. It is what it is. European imperialists, this is how they operate. This is just how it is. There's a bottom line to it. I mean, y'all might not agree. Y'all might think I'm being racist, but it's true. Go back through history. Right? Outside of the Moors, right? Which, that's a whole nother ball game. The Moors, they conquered quite a bit in Europe. You know what I'm saying? They did quite a bit in Europe. So they had their part to play, right? They did some bad things. You know, it's the imperialist mindset that gets us into all this trouble. The idea that we have to control so much of the world. I need to spread my empire. I need to conquer this land and conquer that land. We need to spread our population everywhere. We need a settlement here. We need a settlement over there. We need a colony here, a colony there. No, stay your ass where you at. And if you want to trade, if you want open trade, and that's fine. Spices for whatever the hell you got. You got apples, okay. What does Europe have? What does Europe have? What kind of apples? Can anybody give me a resource, a natural resource that Europe is rich in? No, seriously, I'm not trying to be funny. It's not racist to call imperialists, LML, but those white European imperialists who are known, or American evangelical, my bad, my speech. Evangelical nationalists would agree. Yeah. Oil in Norway, okay. Oil in Norway. But like, for real, what resource? Now, let me tell y'all, the resources that we need so much of today, that we drill for and mine for, would not be necessary without imperialism, without industrialization. So, before we were revolutionary industrialists, before all that, before we needed to pave roads and build all these beautiful buildings, knock down trees, we were hunter-gatherers. Before agriculture is relatively recent in human history. Silver. Okay. Yeah, silver and gold. Okay. Raw earth. Well, everywhere there's earth is raw earth. But yes, that's what he said. All right, gold and silver. Okay. That is a resource. But what do you need outside of what your land already provides for you that you don't have to drill and mine for? Think about it. A Boston Terrian Queen says, sounds to me play, we got some information from a little angel. Okay. Just Human says, Europe is a significant deposit of iron ore, particularly countries like Sweden, France, and Ukraine. Okay. Energy. Okay. So let's go back before that. Let's go back to the days of the salt trades and all that type of shit. Let's go back before that. What does a human need to survive and to thrive from that they have to mine for it and drill for it? Think about it. Do humans really need to drill for oil and mine for coal and cobalt and all these different things? Do we need fine electronics to live and survive? Do I need this cell phone? Do I need that internet that you guys are peeping me on? Do we really need that? Somebody says dark ages. Well, guess what? If we had to go back with the knowledge we have now as people, as human beings, with my knowledge as an electrician, with some people's knowledge as a plumber, carpenter, with people's knowledge in medicine that they have today right now, if the infrastructure were to break down and we lost the infrastructure, if the power grid went down, would we really need that much outside of what we have in our immediate areas? But see, you also have to think about, where do you live? Do you live in a built up city like New York and LA? Well, you might be asked out. You might be asked out. There would be a mass exodus, and a lot of people would not make it out. But if you live in an area like where I live, I mean, think about it. There, if shit was a breakdown and we had to make something happen, I mean, I could get some solar panels. You know what I'm saying? We can get a generator. You know, we can get generators and solar panels. So we can have power. There's plenty of deer. There's plenty of lakes and ponds to fish in. There's groundwater all over the place. You know, many of us have our boomsticks and freedom seeds with which to protect our assets. Think about it. Everything that these people, these elites, drain other countries of, all these things, oil, cobalt, whatever uranium, plutonium, all these different things that we don't need that shit, man. We don't need it. Lord Crimson says, so if electricity is needed for some to survive, does that make electricity a DIA program? Well, that's another point entirely. Think about it. So this is what I encourage people to do. I encourage people, a solution to the problems we face, the problems that the government implement and commit, the problems that are here because of our government, which we're responsible for because we allowed it. There's solutions to it, right? You have to become self-sufficient. So you have to remove yourself as much as you can to prepare for the eventuality that they will take what they feel like they provide for you. They'll take it from you. So buy land with groundwater, you know, get some generators, build your little house, or maybe there's a house already there, you know, get some farm animals, right? You know, chickens, goats, some milking cows, whatever you need, you know, with a community of people, right? Get you some families together that you trust and that are on the same page with you. Start a little homestead community. Become as self-sufficient as possible. That's one way to go about it. The zinc roofer, salute to you, bro. Salute to the zinc roofer. We need oil for travel and protection in war. Yeah, now we do. Yeah, sure. For the world to operate as it does, yes, but I'm talking about on a micro scale. You and your little community. If you bought land and stocked it and enriched it with the things that you need and performed regenerative farming, and became self-sustainable, self-sufficient, you don't need oil. No. Well, to run those generators, you need diesel fuel, right? Which you could get access to that, right? You just got to stock up on it, right? Diesel generator, because you know, gasoline, the volatility of gasoline does not last very long, right? Diesel's not as volatile as gasoline, right? But it can store for longer. So diesel fuel will store for longer, right? And it's much better, right, to run on. Yeah, you can make oil yourself. You just gotta learn how to do these things, right? And think about what you need that stuff for. So let's say you might have a generator for backup. You might have a backup generator. But if you have a solar panels and a battery system, right? A battery system, right? Battery storage. So your solar panels, while during the daytime or when there's sunlight, the solar panels will power your house or whatever you need it to power up. And at the same time, it's charging your batteries, right? It'll charge your batteries, your backup, your storage batteries. And at night, the batteries will kick in. The batteries kick in to power whatever it needs to power. Bada boom, bada bing, right? And then back during the daytime or when the sun is out, you're charging your batteries again. But you just need enough battery storage to operate what you need to operate if you have overcast days like this. You know, you have enough battery power to run essential things that you just really need to run during the day, like your freezers, your refrigerator. You know what I'm saying? The Zeke Roofer says, look into the history of Mayan civilization and why their cities were abandoned. The Zinc Roofer says that. Salute to you, Zinc Roofer. Just Human says he's walking on oil products. You talking about this? Like I need to walk on that? I could be walking over there where the grass is. As a matter of fact, it's probably better for my joints to walk on the grass than it is to walk on this pavement and to walk on the sidewalk. The soils around the city were depleted, so they moved their crops further away from the city. Well, yeah, because they started agriculture. Yes, agriculture. Agriculture depletes the soil because now you are placing a lot of demand. If you're planting a bunch of crops in one area, it's going to deplete the soil, of course. Yes, that's what agriculture does. You rip up trees, you plant a lot of shit in one place that have a lot of demands on the soil. Yes, it's going to deplete it. The question is, did they ever need to perform agriculture? Do you really need to grow a lot of plants and eat a lot of plants? What regenerative farming is different, right? With regenerative farming, you're enriching the soil, while the things that you are planting regeneratively are using the nutrients in the soil. You also replenishing the soil at the same time. So it's sustainable. Yes, Lord Crimson, food grows all over the world naturally. And in some places they made sure that it didn't happen, but it can't happen again. Right, Lord Crimson, I could walk, there's water, there's grass on the other side. If I wanted to, look, see how easy that is? Look, I'm on the grass now. I'm on the grass. Come on now, dog. You see that? Hello. Your boy's on the grass now. See that? I'm walking on grass. What are we talking about? Yes, batteries have a finite lifespan. Everything is finite. Yeah. Guess what? That's why you have backup batteries. Good. When those batteries get depleted, you replace them. And guess what? You just have to be conservative with how you use it. You just got to be conservative. That's it. You know, y'all, and do you really need electricity? Because our ancestors lived for hundreds of thousands of years without electricity. So electricity is a comfort. It's not a necessity. It is a luxury. Yes, the circle of life is real. And guess what? The people of Argentina, they might have to go back to living off the land. You know, they might have to give up certain luxuries and creature comforts. But this is what I say we have to prepare for ourselves. In this country, all over the world, really. We have to prepare for this eventuality. Take a little break. Let me see. I got about a mile left. Got about a mile left, y'all. But I'm gonna go ahead and end it. But I need y'all, for your own sakes, go look up Scott Bessent, right? Go look up Rob Citron and Argentina. Go look all that stuff up. Go look at what they're doing and why they're really taking our money. This plan has been in the making. Crimson Lord says, if you're really concerned about the collapse of society, you should learn what fungus is edible. True enough. Cargill. Zinc Roofer, you brought up. Here you go again, bringing up Cargill. What is Cargill? Let me see. What is Cargill? Cargill. Cargill, the food company? Is that what you're asking about, Zinc Roofer? I appreciate you, Laureen Hines. Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah, Cargill Food Company, yes. They are the middleman of all the food in America. I gotta look them up, for sure. Yes, like the Koch brothers. Yes. Okay, yeah, I got you. I'll look into it, yes, but for sure, that as well. Latressa Montgomery says, thank Freedom for sharing this knowledge with us. I appreciate you. Thank you, guys. And thank you to those who dropped the super chat. Thank you to my moderators. Thank you to all those who support. Thank you to those who came in and trolled and talked shit and made this live stream a little fun. You know, I like to talk to people, so, you know, I like to engage with the people in the chat. That's how we get the juices flowing. That's how we come to understandings. That's how, you know, things are understood. So salute to everybody. But yes, self-sufficiency, homesteading. Look into that. Community homesteading. Good morning. That might be the future. The future is in that. So anyway, yeah, Monsanto. Bill Gates. Bill Gates has entered into that arena. So we have to understand what's going on. Salute to Cassie D. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Lorraine Hines, salute to you. Thank you to the beautiful fresh Mulata. I think you appreciate you as well. Thank you. But anyway, y'all stay up. I got another good topic to discuss tomorrow morning. It's going to be a good one. So yeah, I appreciate you guys. Much love. Like, share, subscribe. Make sure you guys go out there and get to moving. Get your ruck on, man. Start with 10, 15, 20 pounds and work your way up. You know what I'm saying? Walk you a few miles. It'll do you some good. Find some hills, you know, all that good stuff. So anyway, y'all go out there, get fit, and get ready. Salute to Marcos Manguel as well. Bill Gates owns seas and seas, and he owns he has the largest amount of farmland in the United States right now. So there's that. So we have to, guess what we gotta do? We gotta play catch up. We gotta start buying land as well. So anyway, much love, like, share, subscribe, and let's keep marching forward towards freedom and truth. Peace.